All right, not gonna waste no time, just gonna jump right into it. What's the good news that you need to hear right now? What's the good news that you need to hear right now? Ooh, card should drop right away. All right, so right off the bat, whoever you are, you're conquering your shadow side. You are pushing through any obstacles trying to impede on your path, because first card you got is Justice. You're receiving justice for a lot of wrongdoing. You're receiving justice and balance for a lot of mistreatment. I don't know if you can see the scales, but justice is here. Justice is coming into play. Justice is already underway. Make no mistake, it's gonna happen. If it hasn't already happened, it's probably already taking place. Okay. Please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't sound like your story, don't force it. Time is fluid, so is energy. This could be past, present, future, or right now. Equity, fairness, balance. The great horned owl stands tall and regal upon its perch of balanced scales. It presides over its court as impartial judge of all who enters its halls. Justice represents a firm and focused way of living, balancing fairness and intuition with truth and logic. It is important to be firm and focused in life, and at times it's best to make decisions decisively and objectively. However, justice reminds us that there are spiritual consequences, both good and bad, for every action we take. When upright, justice represents cause and effect, order and fairness. It is telling you that the fruits of your actions will soon flourish. If you acted with good intentions, then rest easy knowing that the truth will soon be made apparent. If not, then you'll soon be held accountable. This position also symbolizes the search for the truth. You're being urged to pause and think carefully about your current situation. There's an important detail just out of sight, and finding it will help you pave the way for your future. Trust in your intuition and logic to help you make the right decision when the time comes. Intuition and logic are going to be your deciding factors, so make sure you're paying attention to it. Queen of Wands is the next card. And I know that card talks about beauty. It's beauty. No, it's a different card I'm thinking of. So this is courage, passion, energy. I'm thinking it does talk about beauty. Let me not speak before myself. Courage, passion, energy. Okay, so a chinchilla sits below an orchid plant, clutching a tiny stalk between its small hands. Chinchillas are known for their soft, dense fur and inquisitive natures. They represent warmth and energy, and the orchids above his head signify love and delicate beauty. This is why I said beauty right off the top of my head, because I have an orchid somebody gave me not too long ago, and it happens to be purple. And there's an orchid right here with the rabbit that is also purple. So crown chakra, make sure you're protecting it. I've been wearing my head covering for the past couple of days just because it's additional protection method also to keep my hair intact. But orchids are very beautiful, but they aren't easy to keep alive if you are not keeping up with its maintenance, giving the water and the nutrients it needs, a little bit of sunlight, it needs its oxygen, so on and so forth. For some reason, sometimes the most beautiful things get neglected the most. So I don't know, whoever that is for, just take the message. A strongly feminine card, the Queen of Wands, reminds us that hard work can get a person far, but determination and mettle are necessary to cross the finish line. Relying on our inner dedication and prioritizing knowledge of the self are instrumental to seeing our goals realized. When upright, the Queen of Wands represents your resilience in getting to this point and having your end goal in sight. This is a card that favors the bold, and so long as you stay bold, the future will favor you too. Connect with others and don't shy away from leading them as you progress. Attention will be given to you and is rightfully deserved. Know yourself throughoutly, even the parts that you don't like to think about. Self-actualization takes courage to pursue, but it will be well worth the effort when it helps strengthen your convictions in the future. Express yourself and be as bold as you can be. I don't know why I wanted to say earlier, relying on your inner dedication. I wanted to say relying on your deadline. So something may be coming up, some kind of goal, some kind of task. Make sure you are keeping in mind your deadlines. You're not working past it. You're staying on top of it, and you're handling your business and doing what you need to do. The next card is the King of Swords, and I know that this card talks about clarity, structure, integrity, because it's been coming out consistently for me. Okay. A crow stands proudly on the pommel of an ornate sword, looking towards the future. Crows are immensely intelligent birds capable of understanding commands, communicating with fellow crows, and utilizing tools to accomplish tasks. So when I said crows, I think I said crowds, and you may be receiving attention from people. It may make you a little nervous. It may, just wreck your nerves just a little bit because you don't really care for the attention. In fact, you might try to blend in more than you try to stand out. So just make sure you are slow breaths. Make sure you're not overthinking anything. Release any self-doubt. Release anything that you get anxious about. Release any energies that are not yours, and release the enemy trying to trick you out of your spot, trying to convince you of anything that you're not worthy of. Sometimes when you are naturally in your own little world and you walk a certain way and you carry a certain kind of energy, it's like bees to honey, so to speak, So fish out of water, but just know that you're in water wherever you go because you create the water. You bring the water, an oasis with you, okay? What was that? They represent mental fortitude and truth, and while some consider them an omen of death, there's also an element of wisdom to them. So crows carry the omen of wisdom, for those who don't know that. The King of Swords reminds us to look to the future with logic as our guide. Only then will we make the best decisions or best choices. When upright, the King of Swords demonstrate you possess great intellect and a clarity of mind that will allow you to make the best possible decisions moving forward. I said decisions before it even appeared, so that's great to know. I know what I'm talking about. You have a good view of your present circumstances. Every facet is laid bare, and you understand exactly what needs to be done. Your emotions are in check and will not sway you from taking the most logical path. Always research thoroughly before making decisions. Be impartial in your dealings with others and understand that people may turn to you for guidance. If you yourself seek guidance, this may be a sign to employ someone knowledgeable on the topic to give you the best possible chance at success. Never let your emotions subdue your intelligence, for logic is the prelude to wisdom and stability. So make sure your emotions are in check, or at least you have a grasp on them and you're not being emotionally led, because then you can kind of come off as unstable, even though it happens every once in a while, because you're not going to be disciplined in every area of your life, but just try your best. Then the next card is the Queen of Swords. So you got some kind of communication coming in. Self-reliance, sophisticated communicativeness. A small hummingbird sits on the pommel of a sword, staring out into eternity. Flowers intertwine with the design of the sword's guard, symbolizing the marriage of truth and action as well as the versatility of nature. Hummingbirds are thought of as emissaries between the gods and mortals. The Queen of Swords reminds us to remain independent of outside influence and communicate fairly, clearly, and kindly with those around us. When upright, the Queen of Swords represents a synthesis between mental clarity and the intellectual power represented by the suit of Swords, you have developed a level of maturity along your journey to enlightenment, and now is the time for you to utilize that and other skills when dealing with the world around you. You seek the truth in all matters, remaining receptive to all points of view involved. Don't put up with idle chatter. The queen is self-actualized. Keep your head held high and your face pointed towards the truth. No matter where your journey may take you, you'll catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Gaining support right now trumps getting even. And for some reason, at some point, I wanted to say something about cheering. Like, I don't know, you're going to be cheered on, or you're going to be cheering somebody on, or people are going to be cheering you on. Take whatever resonates. Last card, Six of Swords. Okay? You're fighting through your darkness, and you're getting to where you need to be. So give yourself some credit. As they say, clock it. I'm not really into trends like that, but it's just so funny how things just effortlessly catch on. Despondency, healing, guidance. An angler fish swims through black waters as 6 sharp swords pierce it, but despite clear danger, it still moves forward. The deep sea is an environment fraught with peril and inhospitable conditions. To survive in pure darkness, often one must provide one's own light. The Six of Swords is a card of transition. It may be difficult to see the right side when darkness encroaches, but this card reminds us that tenacity can sustain despite the bleakest of circumstances, as long as you remain determined to keep your lantern burning until you see the light again. When upright, the Six of Swords suggests you're caught in an indifferent, listless state. Even though nothing is apparently wrong, nothing feels quite right either. You're disconnected from the world around you, but this will soon fade. You're headed in a new direction, whether or not you know the destination. If you're coming out of a difficult period in your life, you may feel downtrodden and uninterested in things you once held dear. Though it may not feel like it, you have survived this crisis. You're on your way towards well-earned peace. Reach deep and summon your faith. Things seem dark now, but you must stubbornly create your own light and march towards your brighter future. I'm going to repeat these last 3 sentences. Though it may not feel like it, you have survived this crisis and you're on your way towards well-earned peace. Reach deep and summon your faith. Things seem dark now, but you must stubbornly create your own light and march towards your brighter future. You have already survived the worst, okay? So now the tests that are going to be coming your way, even though the saying goes, a new level, new devil, the tests that come your way, it's gonna be disguised as, you know, a different kind of situation or circumstance or scenario. Whole time it's the same thing. So just make sure the wisdom that you received from previous experiences, what to do, what not to do, apply that and move accordingly. You're well on your way. Namaste.